If you're a business or a contractor that plans on doing multiple projects with Douglas County, the next step is registering your business. If you are a homeowner or a contractor that does not do a lot of work, you do not have to register your business, but it is highly recommended. To register your business, you want to click the business registration link up here. When you do that, you go to the business registration homepage. And by default, the homepage here is the search and renew business registration page. What you will see is any records or business registrations, in this case, that you have applied for. And below that, you will have the search box. Since I don't have a business, the first thing I want to do is click register a business. And just like the account registration, the first thing you're going to get is the disclaimer screen. I'm going to click here so I can get past that. And then after that, it's going to ask you to pick the business type that you are going to register. Your options are electrical contractor, general contractor, mechanical, and plumbing contractor. I'm just going to click mechanical contractor and click continue application. Now all records, and that could mean permits or business registration, function typically the same. It just depends how Douglas County has set these up. In this case, the first step in this is to enter the contact information. Now this is where it was important to add your contact information previously, because you can click select from account and it will grab that information and put it in there for you automatically. I'm going to click remove just so we can see the options again. So you do have add new if you wanted to add new information that wasn't there already, or click lookup to look up information in the system. But again, because I entered that information already, I'm just going to click select from account to make this process quicker. On most pages, when you are doing an intake for a record or submitting for an application, you have the continue application button or the save and resume later. When you click Save and Resume Later, you create what is called a temporary record in the system. So anytime you're talking to Douglas staff or you're in the system and you see reference or you hear somebody talk about a temp record, that's what they're talking about. A temp record is a record that was never finished. So you can start it and you can stop it and save it and then pick it up later. In this case, I'm just going to keep going through, so I'm going to click Continue Application. And then you get to the details page. So each registration and or permit will have different information that's required on each different permit or record. In this case, I have, as you can see with the red asterisk, business ownership type, legal business name, and license type that are required. So I have to fill these out. So I'm going to pick my ownership type. I'll assume we just say we have an LLC. Call it Steel Mechanical. I don't have a DBA, so I'm going to leave that blank. Currently bonded, so this is not required, but I'm going to fill it out anyways. I'll say yes, and I want to show you this. This is what we call a custom list. So different from the information up here and what we call either a custom field or ASI, this is a custom list, so you can add multiple items to this one field. And to do that, you can click add a row, which will add one row at a time, or you can click this down arrow and you can add multiple rows at one time. In this case, I only have one bond that I want to add, so I'm just going to click add a row. And you get a dialog box that comes up that you can just fill out for your information. And again, each custom list will be different depending on what information you want to capture. As you can see, there are no red asterisks, so none of this is required. But if you have this information, I recommend you fill it out, because any information that is missing or incorrect might cause you to not be able to pull your permit or just cause a delay. So I'm going to fill this out with just some information here. We'll say the date effective and the date that it expires, and that it is active. I don't have any comments to add. And again, I want to fill this out because if Douglas County were to look this up and any of this doesn't match, again, they could say, hold on, we can't move forward until this information is correct. So I'm going to do that, and now you can see that it's been added to the custom list. You can click this and click Edit Selected or Delete Selected if you wanted to edit it or delete it. Also, you have this action drop down like we spoke about before, which will also do the same thing. Since I'm good with everything here, I'm going to click Continue Application. And now we have the attachments page. So up top here we have some instructions. It says for electrical and plumbing contractors, a licensed document front and back is required. General mechanical contractors are not required to upload any documentation. So I'm going to add a file just to show you how it's done, but it is not required. So I click that Add button. Now I'm going to click Add again, and I'm going to go find a file in my system here. So I'm going to find my file and then click Continue. If I had more to add, I would click Add. You can also remove all of them and cancel out of the screen. I'm going to click Continue, and then it's going to put it down here where you have to select a type. So what type of file is it? You know, you can upload a permit, a photo, a transcript. In this case, it's a license. And then you have to add a description. So I'm going to write license document, and then I'm going to click Save. And I want to talk about what's going to happen next because it is important. So you click Save, and then you'll see that it's pending. When it's in that state, it's technically not uploaded yet. So your natural reaction is to click it and then click Continue Application. But until it refreshes and has an update, latest updated date, and this other information, it's technically not uploaded, so the system could kick it back saying, hey, you never uploaded anything, so you can't move forward. So it's an important thing to note. You can see this, this little information banner pops up that just says the attachments have been successfully uploaded. It may take a few minutes before changes are reflected, and if you saw it the way that it refreshed, it did update and those changes are reflected. So again, that's something just to note if you ever run into this later, especially if you're uploading a big file, because this will accept up to 100 megabyte files. It can take a little bit for it to upload, so you might just have to sit here until it's ready before you can submit. So I'm good with this screen, so I'm going to click Continue Application, and each application, record, permit that you apply for, you should have a review page where you can look through all of your information before you're ready to submit it. Everything's looking good here. If there was an issue, I can click here. Like let's say in the license detail, I realize I did something wrong. I can click this edit button, and it'll take me back there. I can also click up here to registration details, and it'll take me back to step 2, where I can edit it as well. But everything looks good here. So if you scroll to the very bottom, you have another certification and disclaimer. So by checking this box, essentially what you're doing is electronic signature and agreeing that, hey, everything up here is correct and I filled it out to the best of my ability. Once you click Continue Application and everything looks good and there's no issues, you should get to the success screen. And I did. So on this screen, you're going to get a success banner. And then below that, and sometimes it is hard to see, especially when this has a lot more information, you have a link to your newly created record. So you can click this and go to your new record. But I will show you as well, now that you go to the home screen and go to your dashboard, you click View All Records here or click My Records here and go under Business Registration, you can now find that file. And if you wanted to get there, you could have done it from the previous screen, or if you click this here, it will take you to the record details page. We will go over the record details page and further after we're done applying for a permit, but I did want to show you the different ways you can get there.